Hola amigos, hola amigas, Dorian here from Hoover. Welcome, bienvenido, croeso, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel, Chesh, Yakshimash, everybody. So I'm here with Gilligan, and he is sitting next to my Hoover Portable. So on Sunday we reached 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all so much for that. So the next step we have to do to this is just give it a really good clean up, a wash up, a polish up, and a little bit of Hooverlux TLC. Gilligan, you going to help Daddy? You going to help Daddy? No, he's not going to help Daddy. He's going to sit on the bed with the others. So what we're going to do now is bring you guys a little bit closer, and we are going to start cleaning up this absolutely amazing Hoover Portable. So on Sunday you had the happiness or the misfortune of seeing 2 videos from myself, because I put in the standard Sunday video, and then of course after I had after I had reached 1,000 subscribers, I then uploaded the special video on this one. So what I'm going to do now is start cleaning it up. So I'm going to take this rubber seal off from around the outside. Very, very easy. Just comes out. Definitely could do with a good scrubbing. So what I'm going to be doing is putting it in a bath of detergent, biological washing powder, to clean all the parts, all the accessories, everything. So I'm popping it all into my parts bucket for scrubbing and cleaning. I'm not going to take this apart. I'm going to clean it as it is and make sure it stays really dry afterwards. That'll be fine. Let's take out the hose, because this is mucky. There we go. So that is all the parts that I'm going to take off. I'm not going to take off anything else because there's no need for it. I'm going to take out this bag. And just seal it up. I'm just going to pop this into here for now. I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to take this little filter off at the side. Oh, that doesn't come out. That sponge filter's had it, so I'm going to replace it with something more modern. And clean it up. Yes, that's it for now. So let me get the hose. And then we get some cloths. And let's give this old lady, old gentleman, I don't know whether we should sex it as male or female, I don't know. So I'm making this video on Monday the 19th of March. Got another video coming up tomorrow. Chronologically, I'm talking about me for tomorrow, which will be on the 20th, Tuesday the 20th, which is on a vacuum that I got from a charity shop, the British Heart Foundation. They have some really, really, really good stuff there. So I was really surprised. It was so funny because on Sunday we were out with friends. We went to near Peterborough. It's called the Nene Valley Railway, and it's an old railway station and a steam engine and Thomas the Tank Engine and stuff, and you can have afternoon tea. Now I got this activity, it was booked on an activities thing from work as a wedding present from last year when I got married, and we tried to do it last year but there was no availability, so the only date, or the first date available, was the Sunday just gone. So we went and did the train, and it was really, really good, I have to say. It wasn't very long because it goes from Nene Valley to Peterborough, an old station in Peterborough. It takes about 20 minutes on the train. So it wasn't a super long journey, but it was so nice to be on the steam train. I'm not an aficionado or a train spotter or anything, but I do like the old steam trains. There's just something about them. It's a bit like Murder on the Orient Express. Now, there is something stuck to this, like drips of something. So I'm gonna have to get my little magic eraser and see. Yep, this is bringing it off. Now if it's as hard as this to get off the metal, I hope it's not too damaging on the plastic, because it's all over the plastic. It's coming off with my nail. I don't know if it's like candle wax or something, I don't know. Something that's dripped on it. Yep, there we go. It's a bit more on the side. Now, I need to get my little screwdriver and put this down the ridge, because that's a bit manky. I'm going to have to use a flat-headed one. Some crud wedged down underneath here. Right, rinse them out. So it was afternoon tea on the train with jam and scones, which was really nice. The scones were very nice. It wasn't anything sort of like posh or whatever, but it was nice to do it. And then once we got to Peterborough, we stopped there for about 20 minutes for the train to turn around. The main engine, steam engine. And so we'd had our afternoon tea and whatever, and we were sitting there, and it was a bit cramped, it was a bit hot, it was freezing because it snowed over the weekend. So it was cold. And I took a little walk up and down the train, and I noticed the individual compartments, like in the Hogwarts Express. So I asked the guy on the train, is it okay if we sit there on the way back? Because my friend who we went with, she is an absolute Harry Potter fanatic. She loves Harry Potter, and I love Harry Potter as well. So what we did was we sat in that carriage for the way back, which was really, really nice. Right, that looks decidedly better. Let me get a dry cloth now. Those are for wash. going to run over it with this lovely dry cloth to absorb any moisture. And then flip him over. Right, let me get you guys a little bit closer so you can see the top. Okay, I got 2 more cloths I'm going to soak. Now I'm going to wring these cloths out, but not completely. I do want them kind of moist because this is a textured plastic. I do want it a little bit moist to get in and clean it. Oh, I love this machine. Now again, we're not going to be pressing too hard. Now, I don't know what that stuff is that's spilt all over it there. Let's get my eraser. I think I'm gonna have to use this. Where's my spray bottle? Hang on a second, let me go get something, hang on. Okay, so I'm just spraying a little bit of cleaning solution on it. I'm not over soaking it, it's running all over the shop. But this will definitely help. There we go. Rinse that. I'm not going to leave this too long. Rinse my cloths out. Okay, that has definitely helped. It hasn't done much to remove this. But to be honest, removing it a bit. Stay still, will you? It's removed a lot off it. don't want to be doing much to the lettering on the front because it's already not 100%. So before I change my cloths, I'm just going to do this cable. Now these ribbed cables, they really do, you can't really see because it's a dark cloth, but it does, they do pick up a lot of dirt. Okay, they can go in the washy bucket. Right. I'm just going to re-soak some clean cloths, and we're going to work on the inside. Right, let me just get some spray on this. So I've got a little bit of all-purpose spray. I'm just going to spray in there. Because it's a bit dusty. You just got to be so careful that you don't damage the plastic. Now there's a channel by a guy called Steve. He's changed the name of it. It's now called Florence Ballard, and he's got a video on his channel of him. He'd stripped one of these down and he's putting it all back together. It's a really good video, so check it out because it's really interesting because he's putting it back together. And it doesn't seem to be the most, it's not a complicated vacuum, but it's a bit fiddly. It's a bit mucky down there. Let me get my screwdriver. I do love this machine. It's really funny because someone said, "Oh, I wonder if you could take it on the aeroplane as hand luggage." It's like, probably. Don't think they'd be too happy. Motors and gizmos and wires and gadgets and stuff. I don't think they'd be too happy about that. And then someone else mentioned about packing luggage. They wouldn't get much in there. Pair of pants, pair of socks. If you took the bag out, maybe you could put some stuff in there. I don't think it would survive more than 10 minutes with some baggage handlers. Right, it's looking lovely and clean. This. I'd love to know who was the creator behind this, and I wonder if it was the same guy that created the constellation and the what do you call it, the celebrity. Be interested to know who the design team were. Someone needs to do a proper documentary on it. Because I didn't realise. It was only when I was watching, oh, what's it called? The Secret Life of Machines. Spangler was a janitor And he had created the idea of a electronic motorized sucking vacuum cleaner machine. And then it was Mr. Hoover, who owned a harness company at the time. And of course it was the time when vehicles, motorized vehicles were becoming popular, so his business was going to start to suffer. So he invested in this, and then he was the marketing genius behind Hoover, and Mr. Spangler was the guy who had done the inventing, the initial inventing, and then it was Hoover that bought the patents for it. And then Mr. Spangler went on to create Goblin, his own company. So he was in competition against his own invention, really. Right. That's looking lovely. Let's get a dry cloth. But yeah, you must watch that on YouTube. It's The Secret Life of Machines. I remember watching it as a kid, and that's what got me fascinated in how things work. Rex Garrett and Tim Hunkin were the presenters on it. Highly recommend you watch it. Right, so inside here we have this paper filter, which is buggered. I don't know what I'm going to do. Can't use it because it's done in. Let's vacuum out the rubbish in here. Now, when I did my initial little test on the floor, inside here were the bits that I picked up, so I know that the bag was leaking. And I can't have that, because I want to use it. It's going to be on display in the living room with the Japanese like version of this, the National Footstool vacuum cleaner, so it will be used. Not constantly, but it is going to be used, so I need to protect the motor. What's the point in having all these wonderful machines? And I know it's limiting for people because they don't have the space for it. I totally understand, but I want my machines on display where people can come and have a go with them. So if you're passing Grantham, anybody, or fancy a trip down to be in a video, love to have you. I've spoken to a couple of people, a couple of collectors and enthusiasts, and they're very eager to come down and make a video with Hooverlux feature in it. Some of them won't have their faces in it because they're too shy. I'm shy, but it doesn't matter. You can just stand next to me like I'm doing here. You don't want to see my ugly mug all the time. Put a little bit of metal polish on this and see if I can make it shine up, but doing a pretty good job as it is. So hopefully now I have to wait a little while before I get told if I will get monetized again for the channel, which helps to give you all the content. But I've been skint for months. Ask Hubby Lux, he'll tell you. He's a very patient man, I tell you that. Right. I'm not going to bore you anymore with any chat. I know that Noel, Uncle Nolly, I know that you love the banter and the chat, my dear friend. But you must be the only one. Everyone else will be fast forwarding by now. Fantastic, fantastic. There we go, didn't need much. Whoever owned this really did look after it, thankfully. Right. I'm just going to leave that dry for a minute. I'm going to get some metal polish. So I've used my tiny little Dremel set, which is this, with some mothers on this metal part here. And I've just finished polishing. I haven't wiped it off yet. I could take the whole thing off and put it on the machine, it would be fine, but it didn't really need it. I just wanted it to look good from the top. It looks fine. You're not going to see the underneath of it. Wow, look at that. That looks amazing, doesn't it? I just need to wash the residue off, so I'm going to use my Demon Spray Shine, which I find is really good for removing residue after polishing. Plus it gives it a little bit of a shine and it smells lovely. There we go. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's a darn sight better than what it was. And I just think it's a bit of a nice finishing touch for when you open it up, that you get to see how lovely it looks on the inside. Because you don't get to see much metal in this, it's mainly plastic, so to have this nice shiny metal on it, see, that looks lovely. Et voila! That looks really nice now. I put some tape on this to hold it up. But yeah, I think that looks really nice. Looks lovely and clean. So I'm not going to be doing any machine polishing to the outside of this. I'm just going to spray it with some Demon Shine. Get a nice cloth. Some lovely ones I use for the car. I'm so lucky that this didn't need a lot of work doing to it. I'm very, very lucky. Okay. do the inside of this now. So I'll have to wash all the other bits in the bath tonight, before I get in, of course. Well, you know what I mean. I'm not going to bath with the bits, I'm not that sad. But I am going to clean them in the bath and then have my shower afterwards. Why am I telling you that? Don't need to know that. TMI. TMI. So Wednesday, after work in the local pub, is the quiz night, and I am quiz master. So I have got all my questions ready. I've got a lovely music round, general knowledge, company knowledge, and area knowledge as well. There's a bit of everything in there. History, world history, British history. Right. I wonder if this Hoover ever had like silver over it. I wonder. Tiny little bit of spray in there of spritz. So this is going to be a bit of a long one, but I don't care because this is my dream vacuum. Since I started collecting. I didn't even know it existed 2 years ago. Right. Look at that. That looks so nice, all shiny. There's no way I'd ruin that by putting a bloody paper bag in it. I'm gonna think of a solution for that. I know that I'm going to use a pneumatic bag for them. The nice big pneumatic bag. Right. I'm pretty much done with the inside of it now. I will give the cable another clean over after, before I go in. Now I did notice that the one that Steve was working on, Florence Ballard, the cable was a pull-out type from the side, a retractable one, and the cord cable storage thing was kind of like in this area here. You can see, but this one hasn't, so I'm wondering if it's kind of like a lower model, but I don't care. Right, so look at that. Now we need to work on the polishing of the top, and I'm not going to bore you, I promise. I will do this in fast forward. So I'm going to get all my polishing stuff set up. So I've got everything prepped and ready to start doing the polishing, but I'm going to do it on fast forward. That is all now polished. I'm just going to use my stuff to remove the residue. it has removed a lot of the marks that were on the top of it, that green spillage, whatever it is. It's removed a lot of that, as you'll see when I turn it over. I'm just making sure that all the stuff is off. Yeah, that looks amazing now. Let's flip it over. This isn't going to make it shiny, but it's definitely taken like a little layer of the plastic off the top, which will just clean it a bit. Right. You can still see, if I turn it around, the marks on it there, but it's a lot less than what it was. Right, so that's the residue off. Let's give it a coat of wax. So I'm going to turn it back over and do the underneath first. Oh, shit. There we go. Right, let me get some wax. I'm going to use some of this chemical, guys. Black Light Hybrid Radiant Finish, because it smells lovely. I'm just going to rub some of this into the metal. And you'll notice that the switch, the red, has come back as well. I've put a little bit of, when I was polishing it, so it's taken some of the discoloration off that. So it's nice and red again. Don't know if it'll stay like that, but right, I need to leave this now for a few minutes and I'll come back to you and we'll wipe it off. Right, let's leave it for a minute. Time to wipe off the wax. And that looks really, really nice. Lovely and shiny now. There we go. So let me flip it over. Put some more of this wax on it. This gets absorbed very good, so I'm going to put in lots on it. Go. Still looks grubby. Not much I can do. Give this a wipe over. Wonderful. Creaky plastic. Fantastic, look at that. Looks really nice. I'm just going to give the inside a nice wipe over. Lovely soft cloths. Right, now, bags. Let's have a look. Got a lovely original Pepperflow style bag here. Just going to fluff it out a bit inside here. Need to line this up like so. As long as I make sure it's lined up, and then close it. Let me switch it on. The suction on this is incredible. The air that is blowing out through the side here, through this vent, it's really blasting out. It's really improved the suction. I'm just going to put this hose back on a sec and test it. That is so much better. That has really, really improved it. And I think if I look inside, I can see it's definitely nice and tight in there. No issues there. It's got the lovely rubber seal is digging in this groove in here, so it's keeping it in place. That is a success. It is slightly higher because of it's sticking up a bit, but if I tuck that under. That is so much better. Right, so the last thing I want to do is take off this MK plug, because I'm going to clean it and make it look like new again. So what I'm going to do is take off these. Unscrew these. I must remember red goes to that side, to the yeah. Red goes to that side. I'm going to take the fuse out. Now I'm going to clean that up so that will look nice and clean and new as well. So there we go. Next you will see me now, it'll be probably on Thursday by the time the rest of it's dried, especially the hose, and we'll put it all back together and take a quick look. But I'm very pleased with the results so far, and I'm going to tidy up in here, and I'll see you all now for the next part. The video is going to continue. I'm not going to do another video. I'm going to do a separate video for a whole house clean, but for now this is just the initial cleanup of the main vacuum. So I'll be back in a minute with all clean parts. It's the next day, my little whippersnappers, and we have got all the parts clean. I've also washed and dried all the towels that I use as well. So just going to pop one of these down, bring over the parts bucket. Pop this upside down. The first thing I'm going to put back on is the bumper. Just need to double check. Yeah. That's the way it goes on. There we go. So that's the bumper on. I've put a piece of foam filter here from a Miele. I did have it the right way around. Now, just get some more cloths. And some of my spray. I'm just going to wipe them over with this just to give them a little bit of a a shine. This is quite exciting. For me, anyway. Crevice tool. Dusting brush. Upholstery tool. Furniture nozzle, as it's called on this. It's called a furniture nozzle. Furniture nozzle. Where is... Oh, here it is. I'm going to spray a little bit onto this. Possibly might... It's cleaning it has improved its movement. I can see how there'd be some suction loss through it because it's not really sealed in any way. And that goes in there. Now this I have to take apart, so we'll take it apart in a minute. And the plug I've dishwashed, that come out really well. The hose has come out fantastic. In. Perhaps it's shrunk a bit. Anyway, that fits in there lovely. If not a little bit snug, but there we go. So, I'm just going to move this out the way. I need to open this because this to me seems too loose, so I'll bring you guys closer and we'll have a look and see what's going on inside this. Okay, so I can see some of the teeth are wedged anyway. There's just 2 screws at the front. Oops. And there's 2 screws at the back. Okay, so the ones at the back are longer. Okay, those are the wheels. Now for some reason the springs on it they seemed rather stiff. Let's just take that off. seems too floppy for me. I don't know, it just seems too floppy. Let's have a look at this one. And I got another one here, which is off the no, actually that's quite loose in there as well. Right, anyway, let's get some oil. So I got my little pot of grease, and I'm going to put some grease inside this. And around this. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on these springs. Excuse me. So I cleaned all these bits in the bath last night, and it came up looking really good. And I'm going to put a little bit of grease in these wheels. Oh gosh, excuse me. Right. Is that the right way? Or should it go this way? No. monkey. No. Seems to be catching on something. Well, that should be springing right up, but it's not. And I don't know why. It's got plenty of spring in it. Let's see if I should just pull these out a little bit. I think it's possibly, oh, there we go. The bristles on it. The bristles here are catching on it and preventing it from going back up. So if you push it down too far, the bristles, which are bent, are getting stuck on it. You can see there. Because that then goes across and leaves it down. These bristles there are wedged. Get it locked up. Oh, this is a faff. 7 minutes for this. God. Bored tears. Bored to tears. There's a lot of suction lost through this brush head and through the hose and the connectors, the tube. It's not a very good sealed system. It runs a little bit smooth, but this thing is just so loose in it. I thought it would have been a bit more like that. I mean, that one's loose. But that's not as loose as that. Okay, so what I've noticed is down in here where this fits in, this is quite worn. So it's not gripping onto this as good as this one. This has got different springs on it, and this part here, this has got still a good shape to it, so it hasn't quite worn the plastic away. So that's why that one is better than this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of sponge to put around that, and then put this down, and then that will help to clamp it and keep it in place. So I'll do that. Okay, so that is now working a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was anyway. And the sponge in there is gripping it a bit better, but yeah, just the best I can do, I'm afraid. Right, let me clean up the rest of this mess. So I've put all that back together now, so I'm just going to rub some wax on it. There we go. And that can have its place in there. Excellent. Now, the last thing I have to do is the cord. So I've cleaned the cord, that looks really nice. I have dishwashed the plug, so that now looks very good, almost like new, almost. So I'm just going to get a new 13 amp fuse for it, and then I'm going to wire it up, but I'm not going to bore you with that. So back in a sec. I just finished wiring the plug, so that's all nice and safe. Let's close it all up. There we go. That's done and dusted. Looks much better. Let's switch it on. I like that wind down. So there we go, that is the portable. Looking very, very nice indeed. Just a little bit of TLC for this thing. So this is the end of the video, but so this is going to go out on Thursday, and then on Sunday we'll go out. I'm going to do a full house clean with it, and we will check the bag. So I haven't picked up anything inside. The bag is brand new. I'm just going to tuck this away. There we go, that's everything all tucked away. Done. The suitcase is finished. Right, okay, let's finish off this video. So thank you very much for watching the second part of this video, which has just been the slight restoration and basic cleanup and polish of it. It is now looking really good, and it is now ready to do its first demo of a full house clean. So I'm going to take my suitcase upstairs, and in the next video you will see me do a full house clean demo with this Hoover portable. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye y'all!